Now here's a matchup we have not done before. The Terran originals versus their AI overlords. That's right, it's a TVG. But I'm even more chuffed about who's actually matched up in this tournament. Regulars of this channel should be familiar with both of these names. The role of the Genetron is being played by Sigmar, one of the biggest Scion Races fans out there. He's the brainchild behind Scioncraft, the new channel that's dedicated to talking about all things Scion. But oh boy, our Terran player. Our Terran player in the bottom left is someone I've been trying to cast for years now. I don't even know if there still would be a Zugzwang Starcraft channel if it wasn't for GFG. And that's before we even get to the fact that he's the inventor of the Protoss toilet. Not the Archon toilet, the Protoss toilet. There's a difference. Anyways, I thought it was pretty cool when he decided to enter the Scion Round Robin tournament this year. Which is the tournament where this game comes from, by the way. So put your war horns together because it's time to introduce Gamefront Germany! He's a very brave man to be taking on these Scion vets, particularly his Genetron opponent in the upper right. But I guess that's what happens in a round robin tournament, you gotta hit everybody eventually. And that includes the Terminator Pineapple. Put your war horns together for none other than Sigmar! So Sigmar got his manufacturer slightly before he expanded, and now he's making that original Spitfire. GFG's going for a Reaper expand. I have no idea how these build orders are going to match up, other than to say that Genetron is going to have that Spitfire out long before that Reaper can get across the map. Sigmar has that ACR Scout, so he is going to see that Reaper in production. If he had time to click on the barracks, that is. Sigmar's original race is a Terran, so he'll be familiar with these basic builds. The Reaper does not pause to kill the ACR, he's rallied straight across that map. Which is 2,000 atmospheres, by the way. That ACR is looking pretty low there. He needs to get out of there. Or he could become our first blood. Sigmar is going for an early uploader. We know how much he loves getting that calibrated engines upgrade. He just hates leaving his engines uncalibrated. Reaper slips right in, there's no defense except for at the natural. KD8 charge in the mineral line, Sigmar with the pull. Sigmar is right on this. Is he repairing? He's repairing his workers. That is a terrific defense. The Spitfire is gonna chase that Reaper off. The Reaper did get one kill off, but he was sort of thwarted by Sigmar's makeshift shield battery. And just like that, it's on like Donkey Kong. Sigmar immediately goes for the Fabricator, and he's got a second manufacturer for that double Spitfire production. Meanwhile, GFG's got himself a bunker to protect himself from that counterattack, but he's also about to finish his factory. And the Reaper isn't done. He's gonna look to see what additional scouting information he could get. Reactor switch going on. The newly formed factory wants double the fun. Construction on an outfitting station begins for the Genetron. The Reaper checks the lateral third to confirm there's no expansion. And there it is, Sigmar starting up that calibrated engines upgrade. That's gonna give speed to his Spitfires. Those green lines means he has a single uploader on each of his manufacturers. I love the new color coding system. It's just easier visually. When there's two connected to a building, they'll turn violet. Oh, and the Reaper's gonna spot an ACR looking to go out for a scout here. He's gonna pick off a little free kill here, but that is gonna let Sigmar know that that Reaper's out there. Those Spitfires are going hunting. Two can definitely take down a Reaper. And it looks like Sigmar repurposed one of his uploaders, put it onto his Fabricator. That's gonna let him start making that mole. How cool would it be if we got moles versus tanks? No tanks in production though. GFG's continuing to make reactored Hellions. He's also building a medevac. No sign of stim. Sigmar's mole is done. He's also got a processing drone on the way. GFG's gotta be careful. Those Spitfires are all of a sudden gonna become very fast. It's just like with Zerglings. All of a sudden they eat their Wheaties and kick it into high gear. Oh, the medevac is out and it's loading. I actually think it's collecting Hellions. There's two more. They're hiding in the brush and linking up with that Reaper. But that there, my friends, is a fully loaded medevac with 4 Hellions to bear. You thermal would be proud. It's Hellion versus Spitfire, 4 wheels versus 3. Okay, I see what's going on here. I get the picture. It's looking like a 2-pronged attack, potentially. Oh, maybe not. Prong 1's looking a little early here. Sigmar is going to repel that. He'd love to get his third up and take that income lead. They're tied on workers right now. Terran switches over to making Widow Mines. But it's the Hellion drop that's capturing our attention at the moment. I see Prong number 1 is keeping those Spitfires busy. He triggered his attack on the left-hand side early on purpose. He wants all the attention. Sigmar appears to be taking the bait. Here's the boost. Oh, there's a mole at the third. Oh, Sigmar built an interdictor. It's in range. That medevac is in a lot of trouble. But GFG gets his payload off. Oh, I thought the medevac was gonna escape, but Sigmar killed it. Now the Hellions just have to make it back by killing workers. And they go to work. Sigmar has to shuffle his army back to his main. He will definitely clean this up, but what will be the prize? It's 9 worker kills, which translates exactly to a 9 worker lead for GFG. Oh, and now there's some Widow Mine harass right in front of the natural. But look at that perfectly placed mole by Sigmar. That corner location is so good. Oh, there's a second Widow Mine there. Sigmar can't see it. He's gonna get a nice hit off. Oh, Sigmar's clumped up right outside of range. Oh, I'm just stuck staring at it, waiting for this horror to happen. Oh, the mole walks in. He could even get splash on that mole. Sigmar's up to 4 moles now. I thought he wasn't a huge fan of the mole, but he's definitely liking it for this matchup. Meanwhile, GFG looks to be doing his bio transition. He's getting +1 attack and stim, and he's adding to his marine count. Oh, that mine never got his shot off. How depressing. Sigmar's army has no idea how close it came to getting waxed. Look at that Sim City at GFG's natural. It is not going to be easy to push into GFG's natural at all. But Sigmar doesn't even need to. It's 3 bases to 2. All he has to do is delay the third of his opponent. And I think that's what he's got in mind here. He checks the lateral third. Just terrific analytical thinking by both our players so far. Yes, GFG is outmining Sigmar right now, but that's because he's still got a worker lead. But it's not going to last. He's either got to take a third or he's got to do some economic damage. Oh, Sigmar drives by that mine again. That mine is so unlucky. But really, just applause for Sigmar's recognition here. He's figured out he does not need to push out right now. GFG's made his decision. He's going for the triangular third. Oh, and Sigmar started up a fairly rare upgrade, subterranean sensors. I love that one. That's the one where you turn all of your moles into mini sensor towers. The best part of it is your enemy can't see it, so they don't know when they've set it off. All right, processing drone coming in for his scout. He's gonna see that third. Is he gonna see the stim finish up? I think he might have missed it. But he's gonna see combat shields. He's gonna see +1/+1. I think he's gonna put it together. It really does look like a classic Terran bio push. Couple Marauders maybe sprinkled in, and indeed a tank. Oh, drone's gonna see those Marines as the Marines poke holes in it and kill it. Say hi, drone. Say die, drone. So it looks like in answer to my question, GFG is gonna try to expand and do economic damage. He's got the bigger army. He probably wants to trade with it. Sigmar has his assembly array up. He's now capable of going air. And he's starting his tech vault. As this game goes on, we're gonna see more and more interesting pieces. I was just about to say I'm wrong, GFG is not pushing out, but then he goes and does it just to make me happy. This guy's always got my back. And now if this push turns out to be a horrible idea, it's gonna be all my fault. But if he can get a good position with that tank, I could see it being great for him. Sigmar is going the wrong way, he's cutting right, but the attack is coming for his left flank. Sigmar's third is in jeopardy. He does have 3 buried turrets and a mole. There's a lockdown on the first repulsor, but that mole is doing damage. A Hornet arrives, but it's matched up against Stim Marines. The mole's been taken out, but Sigmar buries the second one on the scene. It does so much damage with those shots. GFG identifies it and realizes he has to focus it down, but that exposes his army to the Spitfires. There's no reinforcements coming. Sigmar has a chance to pull off the hold. The core goes into lockdown. There's just a single Marauder pecking away. A third mole joins the fight. It's gonna take down those Marauders. Just terrific placement by Sigmar. He's keeping his units out of range. And now that there's no more Marines, he's gonna be able to send in that Hornet to clean up the tank. But can GFG claim that core as his trophy before his army is crushed? If the Genetron did not have that extra armor from lockdown, that core would be crushed. Fresh units for Terran! But there's no tank. Sigmar has the mole advantage. GFG either has to rush the moles. He's gonna try to drop on them. Oh, this is so cool. But the moles are able to handle it. Here come the tanks now. But they arrived just a little bit too late. Their bio support is gone. Has Sigmar found a way to hold this? GFG is retreating. He's gonna be able to repair that core. I said, he's gonna be able to repair. There it is. Sigmar is one of those players who appreciates the value of repair. You can tell he's a Terran by training. Though I do know so many Terran players who seem completely unaware that Terran actually has that ability. Okay, so when the dust settles, GFG comes out with the worker lead, the money lead, the army lead, the supply lead. But we are even on upgrades with both players scrapping to get their +2/+2. And now GFG's gonna try to take a base lead here, taking his 4th. Wow, despite that magnificent hold, Sigmar is down on resources lost. He's taken the greater beating and GFG has the muscle to flex here. I thought he was gonna do a doom drop to the main there for a second, but those medevacs are empty. But regardless, it does look like GFG's gonna try attacking again. Just like last time, he's gotta get a favorable tank position for this to work. Sigmar's still got that mole in that high ground corner. That's such a great spot. Terran can get vision of it with his medevacs. Oh, but this is looking like a kill box. Look at that surface area for Genetron. The damage being dealt by those moles is insane. The tanks have to get those moles. He's going for the corner one, but GFG's army is gone. That mole was down to 1 hit point before the medevacs pulled out. 1 hit point. And now the Hornets just clean it all up. I think that just put Sigmar back in this game. GFG has to return home to lick his wounds. He still has the income advantage. He can use that to rebuild his army. Oh, Sigmar made an Avenger and it's picking off the medevacs. He is getting so much done with so little. You'd never know he was way down on army size. Oh nice, processing drone turns itself into a detector and the Spitfires clean up the Widow Mine. Enhanced targeting finishes, that's the range upgrade for the Torrent. But all eyes on this quadruple medevac drop. Sigmar's making Batmobiles. You gotta think that's gonna be good against Marines. Actually, we know it is, we see it in unit testing. Anti-light and splash, you can't get better than that. GFG shuts down the 4th, largely unopposed. That keeps him ahead on bases, but does give away his position. Look at that. Terran's got 200 supply available now. And he's powering to get the production facilities to complete it. Tracking munitions upgrade finishes up. That's gonna let those Spitfires hit their targets from even farther away. But you gotta think it's the Insiders, those Batmobiles, that are really bullying those Marines right now. And then Avengers plus Hornets are harassing the Terran all the way home. So yes, Terran got the 4th, but Genetron made it very expensive for him. And now Sigmar's gonna push into the Terran 4th. Tank sieges up and Genetron pulls back. And now it's GFG's turn to harass his opponent all the way home. Oh, this is beautiful. Terran is making a Thor. You wanna go mech? Well, let me show you the ultimate mech. Has Genetron even seen a Thor before? Genetron trying to get up a 4th base to go even. Oh, that Genetron army is so deep in the red right now. Looks like just a couple of love taps would turn that death ball into dust. Seriously though, I really like the choice of the Thor. The Insiders aren't gonna be able to do very much against it. They're not light, they usually don't care about splash. And the Thor should have the arsenal to deal with those Hornets. Which is exactly what Sigmar's going for right now. Except that, as usual, he's also going mass Spitfire. And a whole bunch of Spitfires with tracking munitions is probably a good way to deal with Thors. Both players starting up +3 right in sync with each other. Thor is here! Oh, I should take note. GFG's making double command centers right now. Hornets look pretty cool, don't they? I'm not sure why, but they give me a bit of a Blade Runner vibe. Oh, battle's back on. Oh, those Insiders matched up against the Marines. That is gonna be brutal. Gonna be, it's already over in seconds. That was so decisive, Sigmar's got the army lead. He did not have that 2 seconds ago. Oh, he's just on steroids now. He's adding in a run by at the 30s out of range of that planetary fortress. And Terran's would-be 5th base is gonna be absolutely forfeit here. GFG is countering. Maybe we got ourselves a base race here. He's crushing the defense at Sigmar's 3rd. Those Vikings are landing. It's Euthermal's Penguins en masse. SCVs are dying in droves. They're gonna try to take on those Spitfires by themselves. They've got no choice. There's no defenders coming to help them. Oh, Sigmar pulled back. He wants to crush the Terran army. He doesn't want to base race an opponent who can lift off their buildings. He just successfully defended. And Genetron has turned this game on its head. Sigmar has taken the lead. GFG has finished cleaning up, but his army is not what it was. He's cranking out Marines as fast as he can. But are they anything more than branches for the wood chipper that is Sigmar's inducers? Terran tries to rebuild his 5th, but Genetron is back to claim it once again. There's just no chance for a cancel when the Hornets are focusing your base down. Perhaps the planetary can fare better, but it's gonna need some help. It needs an SCV hug or it is a speed bump. It's a speed bump, but maybe it bought enough time for the defenders to arise. There's the stim, and Genetron pulls back. Remarkably, Terran still has the worker lead, but Sigmar correctly identifies that Terran does not have the army. He comes back. He claims another command center, and it's GG. It's too much shock and awe in the final 2 minutes. Sigmar suddenly found another gear. Yes, we now have a Genetron victory screen. The Genetron units do many cool things, but we don't have dance functionality, so we're making do. And I see that Sigmar will then get the bragging rights as the first player to have that screen devoted to them. And well deserved. He really turned a difficult game around. I think it was the moment his Batmobiles managed to get their paws on GFG's Marines. From there, he suddenly went into killer mode and never let up. We also have to give some credit to the well-positioned high ground mole in the corner of the Genetron main. It got a ton of kills and somehow managed to survive GFG's tank fire. Bad luck for GFG, that mole dropped to 1 hit point. Yes, 1 hit point. We'll never know, but if that pivotal mole got taken out, I think GFG's push would have done a lot more damage and it could have changed the course of the game. This is probably a good time to mention Sigmar just tied the knot and is now a married man. Congratulations, dude. I think it would be cool if people congratulated him in the comments below or teased him mercilessly on the end of his freedom, your personal preference. And speaking of the comment section, that does remind me. One of our awesome viewers, Lionbreaker had just the most genius Genetron related comment ever. Check this out. If we had such a thing as comment of the month, that would totally be it. Maybe we should. No, that's too high school. But do keep those comments coming. I love reading them. There's a weird quirk where Google doesn't always notify me of replies to existing comments, and sometimes I miss those, but new comments I always see. So if you're ever having trouble getting in touch with me, a new comment on the most recent video is the best way to do it. Let me also congratulate Gamefront Germany and putting forward such a great game. He's a brave man stepping into the Scion arena to face some of these vets, and I salute his courage. Now, we just need a zayid victory screen, so while I think about that, let me just say, from my base to yours, Zugzwang out. To continue your Starcraft journey, Nova advises you to click the video in the upper rectangle. But Kerrigan warns you to watch your 6 and click the video in the bottom rectangle. Or you can stimpack your Starcraft experience. Subscribe to Zugzwang Starcraft. Just hit the circle. From my base to yours, Zugzwang out.